going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to share my thoughts with you guys on one of the very first uniforms that I decided to pick up from update 4.2, and that is the Wasp. And I can honestly tell you guys I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I think the Wasp is actually significantly better in this uniform than she was without it. However, if you are like me and you were looking for the one thing that the Wasp needed to become a PvE character that is very good in this game, you're not going to find it in this uniform. And it pains me to say this, because if any of you guys have been following me for a while, you know I absolutely love the Wasp, and I think she's truly an invaluable character for several of the game modes that we currently have in the game. She's good for Shadowland, but she's great for all of the PvP content in the game. Extraordinary for timeline. She's a good leader, a very good support character thanks to her Winsome Wasp passive right here. It's just freaking awesome. Absolutely love it to make sure that you don't get time frozen and crowd control to hell in timeline battle. However, the number one concern that everyone have about the Wasp is that her DPS is just so freaking low. And with this uniform, it's unfortunate because that is not going to change. Her uniform is changing her leadership a little bit, giving her a little bit more DPS there, and she's getting 4 iframes, making her very safe. And on top of that, her barrier skill is now a part of her, and she actually moves around and the barrier is with her all the time. So she basically has a full immunity basically all the time, and she can just go into iframes constantly in order to make herself extremely difficult to deal with. So if you're playing her on manual in timeline battles, she's actually really freaking awesome to use. However, her DPS is still mediocre at best, and that is the number one concern I see a lot of people having with the Wasp anywhere, regardless of whether or not you have her uniform. And to be honest, I am very disappointed. I cannot say it enough, man. For a premium uniform that I currently have at rare, I am not being wowed by the uniform, and I am very sad about it. So for today, I wanted to give you guys a DPS comparison to another character that I think is really good for the PvP side of the game, but when it comes to the PvE content like World Boss Ultimate and ABX, she's just not good enough because her DPS is just not that high. And that is actually Mantis. Don't get it twisted, I think Mantis is an amazing character, truly invaluable, and especially if you're new to the game, she should be one of the very first characters you pick up. However, similar to the Wasp, her DPS is not high. It's not high, it's a good medium, but she's very reliable, same as the Wasp. So what we're gonna do for today is I'm actually gonna take both of these characters into Shadowland on floor 17, and we're gonna do a 1-minute DPS check against the boss. And I want you guys to see that even with a rare uniform that is giving her 19% increase to all attack, and on top of that a 23% increase to her own attack when she's in the lead, which she always is, and on top of that right here, her 3 skill now actually buffs her, she's still not putting out a respectable amount of DPS. I am very sad, and Netmarble needs to do something about this, because for a premium uniform, 1,000 crystals, she needs to have more DPS. It's just freaking ridiculous. This is actually a passable buff, so if you start the fight with Wasp in the lead, you can actually just hit this skill and this buff will actually transfer to your other characters. So she's even better as a support type now in this uniform. It seems like Netmarble's on a mission to cement Wasp as one of the best support characters in the game, and not so much a standalone powerhouse. That's just how it seems to me. And one major thing here that a lot of you guys need to know now about the Wasp in this uniform, and this actually really pisses me off, and when you guys hear what I have to say, if you didn't already know, it's gonna piss you off as well. This buff, this 15% increase to all attack will, and I cannot say it enough, it will override any and all attack ISO set. So as you guys can see, the standard ISO set gives you 20% increase to all attack, and if you actually trigger this 3 skill after your ISO actually procs, it will override your ISO set. So let's say you have a 40% increase to auto attack and you're thinking, yeah, my wasp is gonna put out some great amount of DPS for that 20 seconds. If you make the mistake of actually triggering this encouragement skill, it's actually going to override that 40%, which is actually stupid because for the majority of the other skills in the game, like HP shields and stuff, generally the higher amount of HP will be the one that you keep, and if you activate a lower amount of HP from an HP shield, that one won't affect it. And I think this should have been the case here. If you have an ISO set that's activated right now, and it was a 40% or 20% in this case, the 15% should not override the 20%. That's kind of stupid. And just to show you guys what I mean, I'll jump in here really quickly before I show you guys the stats right here. Netmarble really needs to fix this because this is actually really aggravating. A 15% attack buff overriding a 20% ISO set is actually stupid. Alright guys, so I want you guys to just take a look at this nonsense, man, because this is actually stupid. So have the ISO set trigger. You can see right here 20% increase to all attack. That is the ISO set bonus. Okay, now watch this. Okay, let's put the shield back up so I don't die really quickly, and then we're gonna trigger that, and look at this, it refreshed, but now we have encouragement and it canceled out the 20% all attack buff that I had from my freaking ISO set to put this nonsense up. Like, that's actually stupid. That's actually stupid. So Netmarble really needs to revisit this because there is no way that that should be happening, and that's actually making it so that if you want to get the most out of the wasp, you're gonna have to change an offensive ISO set off of her and give her something else like a HP shield or a defensive ISO set to make her an extremely tanky character, but that's even lowering her DPS even further. So it's just really annoying that they did that. They really have to freaking change that. I'll show you guys the overall build for her, and then we'll jump into a little bit more testing to show you guys that her DPS is just very, very underwhelming, especially for a premium uniform that I currently have at rare. So as you guys can see right here, 115 for attack speed, 48% for critical rate, 159 for critical damage, 50% for ignore defense, and we got 50% for reduced cooldown duration. As you can see right here, I don't have any oohs on her, and to be honest with you guys, I'm very annoyed right now, so I don't think I'm gonna give her anytime soon. Skills are all at 6, and we have overdrive, which doesn't even matter because if you use the freaking 3 skill, it's just gonna get overridden. So it's just really freaking awesome. Yeah, I mean that. It's really freaking awesome that they did that. No, I'm just joking in case you guys didn't catch the sarcasm. Anyways, as you can see right here, ignore defense, ignore dodge, and freaking invincibility. Absolutely annoyed, man. As you guys can see, the uniform is at rare, and as you can see right here, I don't have any of the uniforms required for it. So I'll actually show you guys the setup for Mantis really quickly here as well. As you can see right here, 112 for attack speed, 53% for critical rate, 200% for critical damage, 50% for ignore defense, and we got 50% for reduced cooldown duration. We don't have any Urus on her. Skills are all at 6, and she's running overdrive as well, so that's why I chose her as the, I guess, the other character to use today. She also has invincibility, so no damage proc, and she doesn't have a uniform. So keep that in mind. She doesn't have a uniform, right? So we have the Wasp with a 23% all attack lead, a 19% buff from her uniform, and on top of that we have a constant 15% as a part of her 3 skill. Okay, that's a lot of buffs. Now what we're gonna do is we're actually going to go into this stage right here, and I want to run it for a minute with Mantis, with the center focus being on killing the boss as quickly as possible to show you guys just how much DPS Mantis puts out. And then after that, we're gonna jump back in with the Wasp, and we're gonna try to match or do significantly better than Mantis did, which she should be doing significantly better than what Mantis does, because otherwise, what's the point of buying the uniform for her? Seriously. All right, so let's rush the boss. So at the 1 minute checkpoint, we'll see just how much damage Mantis dealt to Sif. Alright boys, so at 1 minute guys, we have 1.5 million HP left on Sif, okay? Keep that in mind, keep that number in mind guys. So now we're gonna take in the Wasp and we're gonna try to do the exact same thing that we just did. We're gonna stay on freaking Sif for the entire fight. And since Wasp has a really good survivability and a leadership and all kinds of other buffs, let's see how well she performs compared to Mantis. Alright guys, so the goal is 1.5 million HP by the 1 minute mark. Let's see how this goes. We're not going to use the third skill until the ISO set is fully used up because we want to get that 20% increase over the 15% that they're deciding to override the freaking thing with. So we'll activate it now. Alright guys, so there you have it, okay? Take a look at that. At the 1 minute mark, we have her at 1.9 million HP. Still a lot behind freaking Mantis, okay? And that's with a 23% increase to all attack via her leadership, 19% increase to all attack via her uniform, and 15% increase to all attack via her third skill. So all these buffs, a premium uniform, and still the Wasp is behind a character that doesn't have a uniform. So my advice to you guys is, although I think the Wasp is truly invaluable and I absolutely love her as a character for PvP, and she's going to be really annoying to deal with if you play her on manual because of all the iframes and the damage block, she's still not worth that 1000 crystal investment because your Wasp, your basic Wasp without a uniform is already good enough for PvP. So if you're buying this uniform with the intentions of being able to do World Boss Ultimate, Extreme Alliance Battle, and high level Shadowland floors with the Wasp, you're going to be very disappointing, okay? I don't see that happening. Even if you put a ton of resources in here, you could give her a CTP of energy or destruction for all I care, and I still wouldn't see her being able to do it. And that's really freaking annoying for me because I love the Wasp, and anyone who's been following me for a while know I think she's truly invaluable. Still think she's an amazing character for PvP, but when it comes to PvE, something that she's always struggled with, that is not going to change with this uniform. But let's continue and see how long it actually takes her to complete this stage. I'm just very sad, man. Like seriously, very sad. Now, I don't even have words, guys. 2 minutes and 46 seconds for a character who has a premium uniform to complete this stage. I am just so sad. Now, I know some of you guys are gonna say, well, you can change her freaking obelisk to a damage proc and that's gonna make her damage better. But what is that gonna do? Reduce this clear time by about 30 seconds? Really? Really, guys? This is still not good enough for the Wasp, okay? So my advice still stands. If you're buying this uniform with the sole intentions of using Wasp for the PvE aspect of the game, you're going to be very, very disappointed in that purchase of a premium uniform. But that's all I have to share for this one, man. Like always, thanks for watching. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Maybe some of you guys think she's absolutely fantastic for PvE, and if that's the case, let me know some of the amazing things you guys have been able to do with her, because as of right now, she's just more of the same for me. PvP, she's extremely fun to play. Absolutely love her there. I have some timeline clips that's gonna be coming for you guys really soon with her, because she's actually incredibly annoying to deal with in this uniform. Lots of iframes, damage block. She's just very safe, very fun there. But for PvE, it's very stressful, and I don't see her being a top tier PvE character.